What's going on, Sooner Nation? You guys know the drill. When recruiting news drops, or team news in general, and when you see the flip predictions put in on the recruiting trail, especially early in the cycle, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about whether or not Oklahoma realistically can land the kid, and we got to look at the kid's profile. So before we do that, as always, I want to hear from y'all. So make sure you join the discussion. Jump down in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. And if you're new to the channel, I want to hear from y'all. So join the discussion. Hit that like. Hit the subscribe button. Come be a part of the channel. We're going to be talking about recruiting news all offseason long. We're doing player interviews all offseason long. So you're not going to want to miss it. And you're going to want to be subscribed to the channel. All right. So if you guys were at work today, you guys get on your phone because you're a little bored, you need to disconnect a little bit. You might have gotten on the Bird app, the Twitter. Well, yes, I still call it Twitter. It's not X. And you might have saw the Covered Wagons account put in a Futurecast that was put out by Sam Spiegelman out into the universe for a flip target for Ryan Gilbert. Now, this is intriguing because if you're an Oklahoma fan, you know that Ryan Gilbert was just previously committed to the Texas A&M Aggies since July 3rd. He decommitted on February 11th. Why is this important? I think there's something important for Oklahoma fans to understand here. He was just on campus at Oklahoma on January 25th. And he is probably going to be back sometime this spring. So the details of when he decommitted being right after he visited Oklahoma, and understanding that Brent Venables, Jay Valai, and this staff, they made an impact. They made a really great impression on the kid during this visit. And whether or not Oklahoma is the reason that caused him to decommit, you look at him decommitting right after that Oklahoma visit, and you have to tell yourself, this is potentially big news for Oklahoma. Getting a guy that was previously committed to Texas A&M, you just don't see Oklahoma do that very often. Now, for Ryan Gilbert, for those who are not familiar with who he is a 5'10", 170-pound cornerback. So I know I'm going to see people down in the comments saying we don't need anybody that's 5'10", but do I need to remind you that I think Trent McDuffie with Chiefs is only like 5'10" or 5'11"? You saw Eli Bowen this year being not a 6-footer out there tearing it up. If you're 5'10" and you can play like you're bigger than you really are, then yeah, this staff's going to want you and any staff's going to want you. But he's got a total of 23 total offers, and they're offers that matter. They're SEC offers. They're other Power 4 offers. You look at Auburn. You look at A&M, obviously. You look at SMU, an in-state school. Guys, that's going to be causing more problems on the recruiting trail for some of these in-state kids in Texas. You've got Nebraska, Mississippi State, Houston, Arkansas, Arizona State, TCU. So he's got some nice offers. And Utah and Wisconsin, two schools that primarily like to hang their hat on defense, right? So you look at that and you're like, okay. So then you look at what Gabe Brooks has to say and give him kind of like the comparison of where they think he's at. They think he's a hyper-competitive corner prospect who could provide some role versatility in the right scheme, undersized, but plays with subtle physicality and competitiveness that frustrates receivers at the line and during the route. So there you go. Gabe right here tells you, although he's undersized, he provides a ton of value in the way he plays physically and the competitiveness that he brings to frustrate wide receivers, especially in the route running. He's very competitive at catch point, even versus much bigger wideouts. I think that's important to know, and you would probably see that in the film when you watch that as well. And he's excelled for strong competition at the Under Armour Dallas Regional in spring 2024. So, again, that's how they evaluate a lot of these guys. Obviously, they're not going to be able to make it around and see everybody all the time throughout the regular season. So they really get a good evaluation of these guys in the camps. But I would almost say that's the best time to evaluate the players because they're going up against other guys that are really elite in and of their own in those prospects. So You look at 2023, when he really got a chance to play some varsity, 2 tackles for loss, 1 sack, 2 interceptions for Mesquite Horn High School. And if this kind of rings a bell, obviously now he's at Forney, North Forney, but Mesquite Horn was a school where Oklahoma was recruiting Lamont Rogers. So they're probably very familiar with Ryan Gilbert. So you prediction put in from Oklahoma in favor, well, in favor of Oklahoma, and he decommitted from Texas A&M. Obviously, you would probably like Oklahoma's chances just based off the tea leaves, what you're reading, right? Read between the lines here. Follow the visits, follow the timeline. But who else could Oklahoma be looking at cornerback outside of Ryan Gilbert? Because I'm not like thinking this is probably like the most deep class or the best class possible, but I think it's definitely got guys with size in the class that Oklahoma try to go out there and get, and guys that I want to see them go out there and get. You see a guy like Isaiah Williams out there in Missouri City, Texas, right? That could be a guy that Oklahoma maybe wants to kick the tires on. Obviously, anybody at IMG Academy with how often Oklahoma's been spending time out there. Evanson Malaska out of Bethany, Oklahoma. Now, that would be another 5'10" dude. So if you at that point, your third guy would have to be some guy with size. But there's Jordan Edmonds out of Marietta, Georgia. You got Justice Fitzpatrick, who's 6'1.5" out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. So there are other prospects. And then, of course, you got Brandon Arrington. Brandon Arrington is the 5-star athlete, really being recruited from Oklahoma on defense at the cornerback position, but can play wide receiver as well. So like if you wanted to put Emmett Jones and Jay Valai on that recruitment, it probably would not hurt you if you're Oklahoma to try to go out there and secure let's just say it, he's a 5-star cornerback. That's what he is. And Oklahoma has done a really good job at nurturing that relationship and really trying to put themselves in a good position to go out there and land him. So, Sooner Nation, I want to hear from y'all. Make sure you guys join the discussion. Jump in the comments below. Give me your thoughts. If you guys are new to the channel, you guys have not already, and you guys are part of about, I think it's like 65% of you that continue to come back. You watch these videos. Maybe you're looking for basketball or softball content, which I know I keep saying it, but it's coming soon. I want to do more of it. Listen, just hit that subscribe button. Let me know you want that content. Make sure you guys jump in the comments. I want to interact with you guys down in the comments. So join those down there. And then, hey, when I'm in bed at night and I got nothing else to do, I'm going to join those discussions. Let me know what you guys think about the 2026 class, what you think about the flip prediction of Ryan Gilbert to the University of Oklahoma. But until next time, Boomer.